Hello, welcome back YouTube Pipers. Just a second. Glad you can join me. I'm smoking GLP's Embarcadero in one of my late father's pipes. Gorgeous little pipe. This is a K Woody flame grain. Love it. Beautiful. Look at the beautiful grain. Beautiful stem. Flame grain. Pot shape. Like it quite a bit. I wanted to say something about aromatic tobaccos today. My last video was about my tobacco odyssey, and I thought I would explore a little more the subject of aromatics. Somewhat controversial subject, perhaps. I don't know if it's so true today, but there was a time when pipe smokers, certainly my age, started on aromatics, and a lot of us did not stay with them for long, for reasons I mentioned in my first video. Maybe I'll say more about it today. Although aromatics, as I understand, are the bulk, at least, of the American pipe tobacco sales. Something I think I've heard maybe 80%. Quite high. So somebody is smoking them. On the other hand, among established pipe smokers, experienced pipe smokers who like to delve into the vast array of premium tobaccos, as I do, sometimes you catch a little bit of a whiff of snobbishness about aromatics. Maybe less so than it used to be. That's what I want to talk about. But let me start with a story that has nothing to do with tobacco. It has to do with coffee. I have a friend who's a real coffee aficionado. We used to work in the same place, so I got to see him a lot. I don't see him so much anymore. But whenever he offered me coffee or watched me preparing coffee for myself, he would notice that I was putting in cream. I like heavy cream. And also a sweetener, sugar substitute. And he would kid me. He would say, "Oh, so you don't like the taste of coffee, I see." Yeah, he was mainly kidding. He was a black coffee drinker. But what he was getting at was, if you say you like coffee, why do you want to disguise your coffee with cream and sweetener? Yeah, of course, he didn't mean that seriously, but if we were having a serious discussion about that, I would immediately say to the person that you need to check your premises, because the fact that you add cream and a sweetener doesn't mean you don't like the taste of coffee. You may not be using so much that you can't taste the coffee. Now, maybe there are some people who want the form of drinking coffee, but they so disguise it with heavy sweetener and heavy cream that you would never know it's coffee. That's possible, but that's certainly not what I do, and I have a feeling that's not what most people do when they add cream and sweetener. In our view, it enhances the coffee. The coffee we feel tastes better with those things than straight. There's nothing against people who prefer their coffee black. I think the same is true with tobacco. I don't think we should assume that somebody who prefers aromatic dislikes the taste of tobacco and wants to disguise it with cherry or vanilla or maple, whiskey, rum, molasses, you name it. They just may find that those things enhance the flavor of the tobacco. So this is how I want to go here. So while I'm not mainly an aromatic smoker, I'm pro aromatic. I've rediscovered aromatics. The question then is not whether something is aromatic or not, but whether it's a good aromatic or a bad aromatic, or an inferior aromatic. I'd classify this last category as one where the company has begun with fairly low-grade tobacco, maybe doesn't taste very good, cheap tobacco, and dresses it up with flavor of some kind. We've all, I think, had experience with that type of tobacco. To me, I've been disappointed so many times in the past with aromatics for the following reasons. You don't taste the tobacco, and also you usually don't taste the flavoring that you smell in the pouch. Now that flavoring may have been added through chemicals which maybe you don't want to taste anyway, but sometimes aromatics can smell very pleasant in the pouch. When you smoke them, you don't smell them. And so you get the feeling that they've been created more for the people in the room, not the smoker. And I think a lot of one reason that aromatics sell so well is that many smokers have, because most pipe smokers are men. I wish there were more women, but I'll say he. Most pipe smokers don't want to alienate their wives and girlfriends, and so they sooner or later maybe turn to an aromatic because they've gotten complaints about their Latakia or their Perique blend or something. So that may be one reason. But so the question is not whether it's aromatic or not. It's whether it's a good aromatic or a bad aromatic. Now, there are a lot of good aromatics out there. In my experience, I've been smoking a couple of them lately, and these are not my father's aromatics. These are not the old style drugstore aromatics that are just goopy, burn hot. Don't really taste like the flavoring anyway. Plus, you don't get the tobacco, so you're basically smoking, it seems like steam. Even if the people around you maybe enjoy the cherry or whatever. So, I wanted to mention a couple. And, even this category, aromatic, I think we should note, is not a firmly defined category. Some things that I sort of think of as an aromatic, some other people don't. I was in a tobacco shop just recently up in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Great place called the Open Door. Singing the praises of Cornell and Deal's Autumn Evening, which anybody who watched my previous videos know I like. Maple flavored red Virginia Cavendish. And the gentleman, very helpful gentleman at the Open Door, said, I don't regard Autumn Evening as an aromatic. I think that might be because there's very serious tobacco under there, red Virginia Cavendish of a high quality. And then I think it's only in the final stage, I'm not sure about this, but in the final stage some maple flavoring is added, very pleasant, I don't think very heavy, rather than some earlier process where the tobacco is cased and sort of heavily inundated with the flavoring, which would probably tend to detract from the real tobacco flavor. So one person's aromatic, maybe another person's non-aromatic. It's hard to say. It always comes down to how does it taste. If you like it, who cares what it's called? If you like the flavors, go for it. If you find a cherry or chocolate or vanilla enhance the tobacco, great. If you don't, don't smoke that type. But I don't think we should form prejudices or preconceived notions that if something's an aromatic or cold and aromatic, that therefore I should stay away from it. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised when my love affair with Autumn Evening began by chance. A friend of mine at my local pipe and tobacco shop I asked him to bring me a sample of his own mix of what is called Hobbit's weed, which involves some Lane 1Q and some other things, vanilla and cherry. And he also brought me a few extras as a gift, a little quantity of Autumn Evening. I didn't even know what it was. And I liked it immediately, so I've been smoking it ever since. So, you should experiment. Be open to the idea that maybe adding a little cherry, I think of, there's a lot of cherry, but I think of another aromatic that I've been smoking lately and enjoying is Cult Red Blood Moon. Strong cherry flavor, but pleasant, and yet you taste the tobacco. I assume there's good tobacco underneath that. So if you find in your experimentation, I mean, if you're open to experimentation, and nothing against somebody who has his brand of tobacco and that's all that person wants. There are plenty of smokers that way. What counts is whether you're enjoying it. But if you do want to experiment, maybe you shouldn't automatically rule out anything that has, a flavoring added. If you're getting it from a company that has a good reputation for using high quality tobacco, give it a shot. You may find it opens a new world of flavors to you. I love the taste of straight tobacco, Virginia, Burley. I love Latakia, I love the Orientals. I like Perique. But I'm very glad that I've tried Autumn Evening and enjoyed the taste of the maple with my tobacco, or the cult Blood Red Moon, and enjoyed the cherry, and I'd be open to others. I'm not fond of the taste of whiskey and rum so much, so I'm not looking for a whiskey blend. I noticed that I think just judging by people's comments on YouTube and other places that the favorite among the Frogmorton series from the late McClellan Company is Frogmorton Cellar, which has a whiskey flavoring because they've added to it a little cube, which is said to come from a barrel. I don't know if it really does that. From a barrel that stored, Frogmorton's whiskey, so it gives a whiskey flavor to it. That's my least favorite Frogmorton. Most people I see name it as their favorite. My favorite is Bayou, which has Perique added to the Latakia blend. So I'm not fond of whiskey, but I'd be open to trying perhaps other maple, cherries, vanilla flavors. I like Gawith and Hogarth has some that have some chocolate flavor to it. Bob's Chocolate Flake, Scottish mixture, I believe, Scottish Flake. And so, if you're sort of prejudiced against aromatics, think about it again. Getting a little windy out here, and give it a shot. You may be pleasantly surprised. I'm going to stop there. Hope you leave some comments. Remember, I have a blog, A Hobby Not a Habit, at hobbynothabit.blog. So drop in, leave some comments, click follow, click like if you like something, and leave some comments down here. Keep the conversation going. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.